cars on the streets of Adelaide. The BP Adelaide Grand Final gets underway in the first of 3 instalments, and it's an awesome drag race to turn 1 between the championship combatants who are rubbing on each other into one, and Feeney side by side with Mostert, who motocrosses his way across the top of the curbs. He's trying to stay down the inside for turn 4. They've got absolutely no grip under them, and they're racing for sheep stations at turn 4.
That was out of control. Into turn 1 there, Mostert right round the outside, across the weeds in the middle of the chicane, got round the outside, they're bumping each other again up to turn 4. Unbelievable start by the 2 series contenders. Look at them, sliding their way off turn 6.
That stopped your brain momentarily, but I know why, because you thought that Mostert might have been able to get traction and get up the inside. Big congestion back at turn 7 as Chaz goes to the right, searching for an alternate view here into the high-speed right-hander. Here's where the challenges are. All that spray, all that water and concrete either side of the racetrack means that spot on a cold tyre is hugely high risk.
Here's Mostert now. Mostert's going to try to put a move on, and he does. He does, he gets down there, but he's done the crisscross.
He locked up and he sacrificed a bit of space, and he lost the lead straight away. I could see the steering lock on the car in the middle of the corner. So Chaz poked it down there hard. He's got his mate Cam Waters in behind him. And Will Brown, pointing in the wrong direction, has gone to the tail of the field. That's a big story in this championship yarn this year. Have a look at them crossed up on the river of water at 13. What a great opening lap. Brody's in here as well. 4 of the heavyweights are boxing on hard at the end of the first lap.
Spin for Golding. Spin for Golding. He's able to rejoin there without hitting anybody. That was unbelievable. 4 different teams in the top 4 there right now, and the 2 guys behind the series protagonists, they don't care about it. They're trying to get 50 points and 50 grand this afternoon.
Waters having a think about it up the inside at 5. On Mostert. Remember, they all go. They go on Kostecki up the inside here on Waters, and he's made it stick. Can he protect that out the other side? And he's hung on, moves him up into position number 3. We'll mine our way through the starts here because it was a heck of a battle down to turn 1. The 2 of them in these conditions walked it away like they were driving out of the shopping centre with not much wheel spin side by side, but Mostert had to surf over the top of those bumps. Listen in the background. Nice conversion of energy. Beautiful. 600 horsepower and a ton of torque to manage there. And then how's this? There's no space for 2 cars to go side by side down there at 1. Listening.
Gee, that was close also for Brock, that he actually just moved just a fraction and he stopped. But that was ugly over there. Have a look at the motocross work there for Mostert.
Well, and the big risk there is damage.
Yeah.
And getting rocks and things all tangled up in the story.
That was the Mostert move, straight down the inside. You called it. He couldn't get it stopped. Feeney turns back on the other side of him and does the crisscross, so he gets the lead back. Now we're looking here. That was the contact from Randall and Will Brown. There was a lot of other dramas going on in the background. This now is on board with Will Brown. Bang. Spin.
Let's have a look and see what happened to James Golding back at the start of this one, because in all the flurry, we didn't fully unpack it. And just look at the difference in the wet at the start of the race versus now. Yeah, well, that was an awkward moment. He's got a margin of 3/4 of a second here over Mostert. David Coulthard is watching. Grand Prix winner. He's been doing awesome demonstrations in the RB7. He's off! He's off! He's run wide in the braking area at turn 4, Feeney, and that is a costly mistake, and it gives a gift to Chaz Mostert.
I've done exactly the same thing there, Neil. You get the painted line in the braking area, and you just can't stop. So he just parked the car in the wrong spot and went straight ahead.
Now, the question begs, how hard does Chaz bother racing Brody? Because he's coming at a great rate of knots here at the moment, and he's not a championship contender. The question resolves before they even get to turn 8, because Brody's going to fly down the inside, and he's done that.
Smart.
Not worth getting involved in that battle.
Smart. Good call, Chaz Mostert. We know that Brody's very good in the rain. All these guys are great in the rain. They all drive the cars impeccably in the wet. But what it is now, it's about risk versus reward. And don't get caught up in the drama with Kostecki going so quick. Chaz Mostert, a little relief with the throttle pedal, lets him by.
So the great thing to celebrate here is we are racing. There was a question mark an hour ago as to whether we'd even see activity on the racetrack. It got so wet at one point. We've got a great motor race unpacking here at the moment. 0.8 of a second, Brodie Kostecki over Chaz Mostert. But Chaz and Brock in this battle for the championship, they've come here with a 20-point margin in favour of Brock in this championship battle. And around goes Cooper, makes contact with the inside wall. And that's awkward. That's a real drama in that spot. Because it's going to be an Austin Powers turn to get it out of there, he's going to have to wait for the entire field to go by. What a frustration, and there's a bit of traffic for him to negotiate there as well. They're not easy to get reverse on occasion, and he's got it stuck up on the curb here now.
I don't want that job in the rain either, Prix, because you stand there and the pit apron is slippery. So you don't want to be standing there when they're coming down, only at 40K, they certainly still run into you. Now this is really interesting because I just said to the guys, let's find this battle, because if Ryan Wood is able to get by Brock Feeney, it's another step back for Feeney in the battle against Mostert. So on board now with a young guy from Wellington in New Zealand. We've seen his prowess in the rain and he dives straight down. Feeney had no way, he was not going to play that game. He held wide, let him by.
Good thing.
Do not want to fight. Do not want to fight for this afternoon.
The margin up the front's diminished pretty substantially here as well. Oh, trouble for Randall. He's made heavy contact somewhere.
Yeah, that's turn 8. Okay. So he's hit the fence on the way out of turn 8. That left-hand front's bad.
Now this will trigger a safety car.
This will be a safety car for sure.
I can't move. I cannot move.
That's when they should have been in a minute ago to put the tyre on.
Safety car boards and flags, safety car boards and flags.
Now, Chris Stuckey was on the radio there to Thomas Randall. Everybody laying up in the pit lane in readiness. There'll be a lot of congestion. It's a short, sharp pit lane in here. It's the shortest transit time of just 20-odd seconds. You're going to see a lot going on here in a moment. And that margin, first to second.
It should be double white yellows around turn 9. Watch out for double white yellows around turn 9.
Was diminishing prior to the intervention of the safety car, and now it's completely disappeared. So there's Thomas Randall. No doubt made contact with that outside wall at turn 8. Front left on that thing looks a bit second-hand, and he's stuck in position.
8.7.
Now, let's looking at Ryan Wood there, how far back he was when Mostert and Kostecki were going through turn 9. So I think there's going to be a big enough gap between Feeney and Brown to not end up with a double stack. This is the understeer. That's hit hard. That's hit really hard.
Check the wall out. So the wall's gone back half a metre there. So he was miles out of the groove. It never looked like turning down there. And that was a nasty hit. That's going to be a fair bit of work.
Wall, mate. I aquaplaned into the turn 8.
Kostecki, Mostert, Wood, Feeney, Waters, Allen, they're all piling into the lane. And out they go in the same order that they arrived, those two guys. And that's going to take some sorting.
Yeah, so the guys are going to have to grab the forklift and move it back after we saw earlier with the Porsche race a similar set of circumstances. The back of that wall is GPS'd, so they know exactly what the shape needs to be, but to get it right back to be in situ properly is quite hard. So they might have to just do a sort of a temporary
race control
fix
attention all teams.
Red
flag, race is suspended. All cars to follow safety car, return to pit lane please. Proceed, follow safety car and return to pit lane please. Race 32 will not be resuming. Race 32 will not be resuming due to damage to the wall at turn 8.
There you go.
Yeah.
So we didn't even end up at 0 on the clock there. So unfortunately, something of an anticlimax at the end of that one. But what a way to celebrate his third victory of 2025 for Brodie Kostecki. He just did a contract extension out, I think, to 2030 or somewhere off into the distance in the fog. So nice work for him.
The final score looks like this. It's Brodie Kostecki cashing in for $50,000 here an amazing result to finish off the season for him with 2 more to play this weekend. Chaz Mostert and Ryan Wood filling out the podium for Walkinshaw Andretti United. Brock Feeney impressive inside the top 5, but not quite where they wanted to be. And Kai Allen did a nice job continuing his points charge so far. And further down the order, Will Brown did a good job to try and consolidate after being turned around inside the opening lap of the race. He got back to 9th.